Hi, it's Tom from the I2I Motorcycle Academy. Again here, I'm just going to quickly take you through a little video on how to interact with the handlebars properly. What I want you to consider is, if I have the bike upright, okay, so let's think about the handlebar in terms of where it moves to. So if I was to bring it all the way back to the furthest point you can go to there versus furthest point you can get to here, what I want you to consider is, if I was to measure from the bottom of this handlebar to the ground, note that measurement, and then transfer it to here, keep the bike upright, and then measure, there's quite a difference between the two measurements. What that means is, when the handlebar is actually traveling away from you, so we know the handlebar moves forward and back, we understand that, okay, but what I need you to realize is the journey that it takes as it's moving away means that it's elevating, always elevating away from you. So when you're bringing it back towards you, it's also coming down. So when we talk about steering inputs, counter steering inputs, there's a lot of misconception as to the direction that we're trying to apply the pressure. So you're not pushing down with the palm of your hand, okay? So it's not like this, because unfortunately the handlebar doesn't go in that direction. So, and it seems such a simple thing, but if I was to simulate my hand movements, if I was trying to push down, it'd be this way, versus realizing the handlebar goes forward and up. My hand movement is different. That's a lot different. So it's no longer the palm of my hand that I feel the pressure when I'm trying to apply a counter steering input. It's actually the palm of your hand is not touching, it's actually the thumb bit here. So I just feel like the joint of my thumb is the bit responsible for the push, because it must be in that direction. The opposite happens to be it's often easy to say the knuckles, but it's not. It's the joint here in the fingers, because that's the exact place. If I wanted to push this handlebar back towards me, that's exactly where I'd apply that pressure. So if the other hand is using a pull, you can see the handlebar is wanting to go that way. So this one is a push. So that there is the input you're making when you want to counter steer the bike over. And it doesn't take a lot of effort either if you do it in the right place. Now, a lot of things like making sure the foot position on the peg is important, but the idea of this video is to keep it nice and simple, and to consider that if you are trying to interact with the handlebars in the direction that they go in, what you're going to find is you get more efficiency for your effort, versus applying pressure down the way. It's going to feel like the bike is heavy and it's hard to turn, but it shouldn't feel like that. It should feel really agile, which it will, but you've got to consider which way you're making the input. So that's just a little video on how to make counter steering inputs based on the way the handlebar goes. Simple thing. Again, a lot of this stuff is, I spend my life running events where the information is really basic but really relevant. So it doesn't have to be complicated, but it does take a small bit of understanding. So maybe consider that next time you're on your bike, before you take it for a ride, just consider where are you making inputs on them handlebars, and you might find that your steering improves very, very quickly, and your use of counter steering becomes more efficient. It doesn't have to be hard, make it easy. Again, there's loads of courses where we run, particularly Machine Control 1 and 2, where we go through this stuff in combination with lots of other things as well. But that's one of the key things that we go through that people often feel makes a big difference. Alright, so consider that, give it a go. Check back for more videos. We're going to try and keep you entertained as much as we can. Thanks for watching.